anyone who had contact with the patient. He was diagnosed in Brighton but has now been transferred for specialist treatment in London. Meanwhile, the Chinese ambassador has urged the British government to avoid overreacting to the outbreak after Britons were advised to leave China if they could. Our health and social care correspondent Victoria MacDonald reports.
Patient number 3, now in a specialist isolation unit in St Thomas's Hospital, brought here from Brighton after testing positive for novel coronavirus. 2 others fell ill last week in York and are now being treated in Newcastle. This latest patient, however, contracted the virus in Asia but not in China. So tonight doctors were told to test people if they came in with symptoms and if they have been to China, Thailand, Japan, Republic of Korea, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia or Macau.
But we will be advising people who've travelled from those countries in the last 14 days, if they get any of the symptoms compatible with the coronavirus, then they should self-isolate and phone 111.
The focus still remains on China, where 99% of the cases have been reported. The latest official figures are just under 600 people have died and more than 28,000 have been confirmed with the virus. Yet mathematical modelling shows there are likely to be more than 100,000 cases and many more deaths than reported. And today there was confusion over whether a Chinese doctor, who was one of the first to alert others about the Wuhan virus back in December, had himself died from the virus. Tributes were paid to him as a whistleblower, but Wuhan Hospital later said he was in a critical condition. Dr. Li Wenliang and several other medics were at the time accused by officials of scaremongering and were reprimanded by the police. These are febrile times, with China's ambassador to the UK hitting out at the rumours and panic over coronavirus. This was widely seen as a reference to the Foreign Office advice to Britons to leave China. Have you formally or informally approached the Foreign Office at any point over the past few days to ask them to review their request to British nationals to get out of China as soon as they can?
Yes. We did tell them overreaction is not helpful. We asked them to take advice of WHO to, make a reasonable response. Do not overreact. Overreaction is not helpful. We asked them to take advice of WHO. To make a reasonable response. Do not overreact.